All right. Well, I get to, in some way, be a little bit of the bad guy here, which I'm okay with. I want to first start by saying that I mean last year was an incredible year for umpires, for admin, for bullpen. I just think the way we all pulled together, I admire what all of you did, and kind of echoing on what Rob said and what Derek said. There's always room for some improvement, and we'll continue to strive for that improvement as much as we can. So a couple things that just kind of, as a lot of times the guy who's walking around watching what's going on and letting Derek and Todd and Josh and Rob do their job, I'm just kind of looking around, and a couple things that I saw that I'd really like to try to improve in 2021. And number one, I think, is cell phone usage on the fields. There's no reason for us to be using a cell phone between innings. If you have something going on like, Adam Johnson, where we don't know when his little boy is going to be born, or when his wife's going to go into labor, just tell me, like, hey, I got the phone on the field for this reason, or, give him Whit's number or something like that. But, I mean, pretty much in most situations, there's no reason for us to have a phone on the field. I mean, your girlfriend can go more than 2 hours without you talking to her. And I know people say, hey, I need to keep the time with that. Well, here's my alternative. Go buy a $4 stopwatch. And at the end of the day, like, let's keep the cell phones away. They don't belong on the field. We don't need pictures. We don't need videos. It just looks really unprofessional. And honestly, it's one of the things that I get reamed about. And people come to me and say, why do the umpires have phones on the field? And it's really not necessary. So that's number one. Number two, and I'll be very delicate with this because it's a tough one to talk about, but there's been some times that I've walked around and I've smelled some marijuana smoke, and we just can't have it, guys. I can't have you guys or anybody thinking about smoking pot, coming to a game after smoking pot or anything like that. Certainly aware that there are a lot of states in this country now that it's legal. So is drinking alcohol. We can't show up to games having had a few beers. We can't show up to games, after maybe, smoking a whatever. So, just don't put Whit, me, Rob, Michael Tucker, bullpen, quad managers, anybody in a situation where, we have to make a call because we're in that spot. So I'd really appreciate help with that. There were some instances last year where, we had to talk to some people. We had to make some adjustments. So it's just really important from a professional standpoint. Again, we wouldn't certainly walk to a plate meeting smelling like alcohol. We're certainly not going to do the same thing with marijuana. So, guys, just keep that in mind. Probably the quickest way to get the old exit from Graham Park and from United. So that's all I'll say about that. On-time umpires, Rob kind of hit on it. I'll make it, in terms of time. Like, I don't want to worry about if you're going to be there. Derek's got too much to do in the morning. Rob's got too much to do in the morning. Like, I've got too much to do in the morning. We don't want to have to worry, like, when's this guy showing up? Give us some time. Get there. I know it's early Sunday morning when it's the fifth day of the weekend. Do your best. Get there. Use that 45 minutes to an hour guideline. But the overall factor there is don't make us bite our nails as to whether someone's showing up. There's no worse feeling for an administrator in the world than that. So help us with that, please. And also, as just to emphasize that, like, if you are running late, communicate with us. Don't try to sneak in and hope that we don't see you. Like, I can much rather deal with, hey, Alex, this is whoever, I'm running a few minutes late. This is where I actually am. I mean, I will tell you that when we call you, if you're not there, pick up the phone, tell us where you are. Like, we'll figure it out. We have people there who can figure it out. People run late. These things happen. Obviously, if it's a situation that it's you over and over, then it's something to address. But, if you're someone who's always on time and this one time you're running late, let us know. Like, we'll fix it, We want to be in a spot where we can service everybody that we need to service. And that, most importantly, is game one of the day does not need to start late. So if one of us has got to go out there, it's nice to know as opposed to wondering where you are. In terms of, like, just what's going on between innings, especially when it gets hot, we have a tendency, I think, to put coolers kind of back by the brick walls, which, as the fields work at Grand Park, like, we're in a bowl there, and we're kind of, surrounded on every side with chairs and all that kind of stuff. So I would just ask that, like, let's not have the situation where the base umpire runs all the way to that brick wall with the plate umpire. They're standing next to a cooler, drinking water, and they're 1 foot from a fan. You know what? If that happens a couple times a game because that's how you're getting water, like, I understand that. Let's try to limit interaction with the fans. But some of the things that I saw was that being an every half inning thing. And we don't need that. And if you're a base guy that needs water every half inning, totally understand it. We've got some other places on the field where you can put some water just so we don't have that 2 umpires next to fans around the water cooler every half inning. So let's just take a look at that as we get through, especially as it gets hotter. Obviously, that'll become an issue. And then the last thing that I really have is, and I think we actually did a pretty good job of this after I kind of clarified some things, and everyone did a great job kind of cooperating. So let's just make sure that from the standpoint of rain delays, let's kind of get to where we need you to be and get to a place where Derek can find you and I can find you. And that's the one time on the high school side where we will let you go upstairs when it does rain, especially if we're in a situation where it looks like it's going to be a quick turnaround. So